YouTube, it's your boy LShmiitty, and I'm keeping this one very sweet and simple for y'all. I'm just need an update on my next new favorite player, man. Right now, last night. I had watched a highlight of some Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, and that shit just got me so hype for when Cade's back. And when Victor's on the squad, you know what I'm saying? Victor really gonna be on the squad, man. I've been praying, I've been doing my due diligence. Gotta wear my lucky hat for the bid to just make sure and secure that W. So today we got a video from a funky diabetic about Victor Wembanyama and the sweepstakes that's going on. So we gonna get straight into it. I'll credit his YouTube down below, but I am stealing your title, Funky. I'm just straight jacking that shit. When they look up your shit, they should see my shit too. Yes, I.
Guys, so for whatever reason, I was recently thinking about Wembanyama and what it's going to look like when he's in the NBA, and then I
Me
decided to
too.
think a
Me
little bit
too.
about the teams that are most likely to get him and how he fits into those situations, besides the obvious of he becomes the main guy and all that. So yeah, let's dive into it. Of course, for the quick recap on Wembanyama, the size, the handle, the shot, the athleticism, gracefulness, shot
It's all
blocking
there.
potential, like it's all just through
It's all there. It's really all there, man. All the hype, it's
the
there, man.
roof, and he is often referred to as one of the best prospects of all time. So, yeah, anyway, the three teams with the best odds for him right now are the Rockets, Pistons, and Hornets, with the Spurs in fourth place. And
Yeah.
I'll talk about some other teams too. A lot of the time, I'm going to talk about him screening for whoever is on whatever team I'm talking about, but again, he can do so much more than just screening. So there's going to be ISOs, there's going to be post ups, there's going to be face ups, he's going to be a terror in transition, and just a whole bunch of stuff. With that said, yeah, get ready to hear screening a million times. Picturing Wembanyama in Houston, I immediately think about him and Jalen Green, just Wembanyama screening for Jalen Green, of course. Well, personally, I believe in Jalen Green's pull-up shooting a lot. I mean, hell, his 42 points that he just had against the Wolves is full of pull-up jumpers. And so based on that, I think one day the two-man action with those two just...
Speaking of Jalen Green, you see, as a Pistons fan, I'm not gonna go hold you. I wanted Jalen Green. I wanted Jalen Green as the number one overpick. I saw him play. I saw him play at an open gym. I've seen him play at Grigori one time. I seen him hoop, bro. I seen him hoop. He's legit. He's legitness. But after seeing him this year, and I didn't expect him to blow up this year anyway. I think he's gonna have his breakout year next year. I'm happy with Cade Cunningham. The only reason I'm not happy with Cade Cunningham is the injury. But the injuries, like, it's fine. Like, go ahead, get injured. You got injured at the perfect time. Like, it was honestly a match made in heaven. That's just like God working in magical ways. You know what I'm saying? But Jalen Green, I just feel like maybe a lot of it could be due to being in Houston, because I think that is just a rat face of a franchise. Ain't nobody gonna learn how to win there anytime soon. They have no vets, no nothing. Like Eric Gordon is the only. Anyways, yeah, I'm just glad we got who we got. I think Jalen Green's ego is a little bit too high, just a little bit. But I still like bro. Like it's still fair.
could be, if not impossible to
It's
guard,
better
just
though.
incredibly difficult to guard. Yes, Jalen Green still has progress to make on his passing and split second decisions around screens and all that stuff. I know. I mean, I think there's a reason why my favorite thing with him still is
But I will say, like, I'm very comfortable with Jaden Ivey being my point guard, right? So I don't necessarily need Cade at the point guard. So having Jalen at the shooting guard would have been amazing, and the athleticism and everything would have been crazy. But still like Cade.
him working off of Şengün as opposed to him
Yeah,
running
two
everything right
playmakers
now.
never hurt.
The other thing I'm imagining in Houston is him with Şengün, which really gets my mind going because
Yeah, would you put
offensively
Şengün at the
speaking,
4 or the 5?
that would be pretty wild. I will talk about the defense because I think that's a conversation too, but offense,
I think Şengün's gonna be the best player on that team. By the way, I think he has like Nikola Jokic potential. I just do. Like he seems like he wants it a lot harder. He wants to win every game.
man,
A little bit
Şengün's
more.
passing ability, obviously from the post, the top of the key, he's been bringing it up more in transition after rebounds and all that recently, as they've just been feeding him more recently as well. And Wembanyama just simply existing would be enough for Şengün to get, like, I don't know, at least 5 assists a game to the dude from wherever he is on the court. I mean, I could picture some Pau
That'd be some
Gasol,
triple
Andrew
double shit right
Bynum-esque
there.
alley-oops, or Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, if you will. Now, defensively speaking, okay, that would be something to figure out, because, I mean, with Wemby, if his best defensive role proves to be as a rim protector, which those are the projections right now, then okay, you'd have to figure that out with him and Şengün defensively. I get that, but the other end is so exciting. Just let me have that for right now, okay? And you do have Jabari, who can make your day easier with whatever you want to do defensively. Is Kevin Porter Jr. the ideal guard
I'm
in
not
that
gonna go into
situation? I
defense.
mean,
I'm not gonna go into defense too much on the Rocket side, but we'll talk about the defense when we get on the Pistons side.
I don't know. In one sense, it's like Wembanyama could make other guys' days so much easier, generating open looks for them. In another sense, it might be like, all right, KPJ, we like you, but like we don't need you shooting 15 times a game with Jalen Green, Wembanyama, and Şengün on the team. I imagine Jabari would get himself some more open looks in that dynamic as well, which would be good for him. Also, weirdly, I could picture KJ Martin screening for Wembanyama on some like Jamal Murray Jokic type stuff. Now let's go to the Hornets. So of course you think about Wemby and LaMelo, and besides just the
Please
highlight
don't go to
thing
the
and
Hornets, bro.
maybe being
That's
the
a
most
shit
popular
face
team on
franchise.
TikTok.
Unless Michael Jordan decides to sell the Hornets, that franchise ain't going nowhere, bro. Michael Jordan has not said a word. Bro, how can Michael Jordan be you guys is like, I get it. I mean, I'm saying this and I'm not about to like bring on Michael Jordan hate. LeBron's my GOAT. LeBron is the GOAT. But Michael Jordan, bro, is not vocal at all. He has such a big responsibility to the game and such a big like you notice like even Kobe, right? Kobe's gone and I see so many like Kobe quotes, Kobe this, Kobe that. His attachment to the game is long past him playing the game. LeBron's attachment to the game will be long past him playing the game. And it already is. They're very vocal outside of the game. Michael Jordan owns a whole goddamn team and you never hear a fucking statement from the man.
Or whatever. Not that I'm that tapped into that sort of thing, because I'm old, but of course you think about just the pick and rolls and the alley-oops and those situations.
LaMelo and him would be nice. I
you
ain't
also
gonna lie.
just imagine the
LaMelo is my
gravity
favorite
that
player out of that
Wemby
draft.
existing would create for the
Period.
LaMelo to kick out to whoever is going to be on the Hornets when we fast forward a couple years here, just because there's currently
Hey, so what if we have questions about our
As long as
policy?
it's not.
And what if it's late at
As long
night?
as it's
And what
not
if someone
Chris
still
Paul.
calls his mom for everything?
trade rumors with Hayward and Rozier, although Rozier's contract is not easy to move, certainly. Or I guess I imagine that to be certain. I don't know for a fact. The other thing, too, is like LaMelo's good from three. I mean, yes, sometimes he takes some threes that you're like,
Noting that Rozier's contract this gets very digressed into whatever the video is, so I'm not trying to beat around the bush too much, but noting that Rozier's contract is really bad and the Hornets are really trying to suck. Don't get me wrong, Lakers need to trade that pick for Bogdanovich. Yeah, get one of those picks to Bogdanovich. But what about one pick for like Rozier, Oubre, and like something like Mason Plumlee?
I didn't really need you to take that step back right there, LaMelo. But, I mean, if teams are going to have to collapse onto Wembanyama, because of course they're going to have to, and you already have one certified good shooter there in LaMelo, that's just going to make your day easier. The other thing, too, is Mark Williams, who, does project to being a good rim protector, right? And he's already shown some signs of that, at least in the games that I've dove into for him a little bit here. And, that's a question, right? Like, could teams picture Wemby playing with another big, or would you want him as the lone big guy out there? Because if you can put him out there with another big, and Wemby might just be so damn talented that almost any sort of lineup is going to work around that guy. I mean, we'll see. But if you could put him out there with a good rim protector and like offensively, kill too much of your spacing around him and stuff, like it might just be really damn difficult to score on you inside, And I think that's a similar thing you can talk about with the Pistons a little bit, because Jalen Duren, man. I know.
I'm glad he got into it. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. I thought I was going to get a Jaden Ivey jersey. I need me a Duren jersey, bruh. I need me a Duren jersey. But that boy was only 18. He might be 19 now. I don't keep track of the nigga's birthday. But he was the youngest dude in the league, man. Youngest dude in the league. And that boy will send your shit to the second row, fifth row. Blocks, bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that boy is serious. Jalen Duren is serious, man. If we could put, that's why I'm like, bro, we could trade Isaiah Stewart. I want to wait. Like, I don't mind. Like, we suck even with Bogdanovich. We could wait and trade Bogdanovich later. Once we get fucking Victor Wembanyama, we could trade Bogdanovich and Jalen Duren. Send them boys off. Give us some Lakers picks. Give us some good stuff to work around. We'll move some shit around. I don't mind Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench by any means, but Jalen Duren is our center for the future. Period. Point blank. Period. Even when Victor comes in, Victor will play the 4, and oh my gosh, that boy stretch 4, stretch everything, and then Jalen Duren, he'll take then we don't gotta worry about him getting too injured, right? Jalen Durant a big stocky boy, and especially next year. Especially next year, he's gonna be even swoller. He'll take up all of them big banging assignments, and then we'll have Victor playing safety, bro. Oh my gosh. We are already a tall lineup. Tall, quick line. Like, bro, we will be for real.
The scoring and the rebounding are
We
most
will be
noticeable
for
right now,
real.
and deservedly so. But just his verticality and all that, man, like picturing that with Wembanyama would be pretty damn wild. But again, it's not a guarantee that Wemby's going to be out there a lot of the time with another big. We'd have to
Oh,
see. I
he'll
mean, to
be
think
out
about
there.
the Pistons a little bit more if they were to get him. Of course, you think about Cade and Ivy and Wemby screening for both of those guys. The thing with Ivy recently, because with Cade out, he's had to take on a little bit more ball handling. And yeah, it's an adventure. Like when he drive into the basket, sometimes he'll pull off some nice acrobatic layup, and other times he tries to finish through like 3 dudes and he misses his shot, and it's like, yeah, it's just gonna happen. He's a normal rookie guard who has the ball a lot right now. Other times he has incredible moments in transition, and you think about a Wemby, Jaden Ivey transition show in Detroit, like, yeah, that'd be something. And then, of course, you have Cade, who's more methodical, coming around screens, putting the defender in jail, getting him on his back and all that stuff, and just how Wemby can operate around that. It is interesting that a lot of these teams already have guards who I think could have really good chemistry with Wemby. Granted, I could have good chemistry with the guy because I would just throw him the ball and call it a day. But you know what I mean.
Cap.
Another thing with the Pistons is that Isaiah Stewart has been going through a bit of a evolution of a season, if you will. He's taken more threes, and it's been a little rocky. I mean, his overall percentage is not great at the moment,
33 or
but
something like that.
there does seem to be a real effort in
I like
turning him
Beef
into.
Stew. I really do like Beef Stew. So when I say trading him, it's like I don't need him to be traded by all any means. But and this is why I just feel like it's such a match made in heaven for us to get Wemby, bro, because I don't want the second pick. I don't. I get it. No one wants the second pick, but some of y'all should. Some of y'all should. LaMelo can work with what's his name? Scoot. Scoot's a dog. Scoot's good. Scoot's real nice. But I'll take Jaden, bro. I'm cool off Scoot. I don't need Scoot. I'm cool off Scoot. Let's develop Jaden. I fucks with Jaden, okay? I like him. He's hometown, homegrown. He's going to try his damnness to be the best he can be in Detroit. I don't need Scoot, bruh. We got Killian, we got Kate, we got fucking Ivy, and I get it. Killian can go. But then I'm not putting Ivy or Cade on the bench. I don't want either one of them on the bench. So, Scoot coming off the bench, like, bro, I don't need that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So then that means we have to get one of the Thompson twins. And then that shit would just be a nightmare. That shit would give me so much anxiety, bro. One of those Thompson twins is going to obviously be better than the other Thompson twin. And I just watched a video last night saying that somebody thinks Asur is better than Amen. But everybody thinks Amen is better than Asur. So I don't want to be the motherfucking team who has to fuck that up. I don't want to be the team that has to mess that up. We will be the
do a 3-point shooter.
We need that
and
first pick. We're getting that
defensively,
first pick.
he has dabbled in switching defense for these guys as he's been there for his 3 seasons, and it's interesting. I mean, if he could be like a 4 who can switch and shoot threes, maybe that'd be your ideal guy next to Wembanyama, you know what I mean? But it's still a process with him. And I say as a 4 because he's done that with Jalen Duren for some minutes this season.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Now let's get to the Spurs.
We could definitely get Duren.
Devin Vassell's an awesome shooter from kind of everywhere. Unfortunately, he had a knee injury, or knee surgery, I should say, about a month ago, and I don't really know what the timeline is for him to be back, but I just picture him and Keldon not having to be the 2 leading shot takers on San Antonio for the sake of Wemby if they were to get him. And I feel like it all just starts to make a lot more sense for them. On top of the fact of Trey Jones, I don't think he would be the first guard for people to imagine with Wemby. But for what it's worth, I think Trey Jones working around screens with Wemby screening for him would be pretty good. Like, yeah, Trey is not the pull-up 3-point shooter to make that 2-man game like super devastating, but he's still an efficient passer. I also would like the idea of Jeremy Sohan with Wemby. With Sohan, the 3-ball has been better recently. But really, I think about like his cutting and his attacking closeout. Him in the Western Conference. I would really appreciate if Wembanyama ended up in the Western Conference because I don't want to see that guy in a round 2 series like 3 years from now, or depending on how good he is.
Oh, what team? What's your favorite team or whatever? No, I want him to go to the East. Fuck that. Go to the East, bro. We're gonna be battling Giannis. Yeah, Embiid, we want all of that smoke. Celtics, we want all of that smoke. Plus, because then it's gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard to get out of like the second round. We're getting out of the first round, but it's gonna be hard to get out of like the second round, third. You know what I'm saying? Like, them teams is developed. Them teams are some dogs. They're going to throw some shit, but, like, that's going to be some good growing pains. Ooh, you saw what it did to Mike. You saw what it did to Mike. Man, oh, like, man.
Maybe earlier than that, which I think would definitely happen if he ended up in Orlando. That's just terrifying, man.
Bro,
Him,
please don't go
Banchero.
to. Yeah, please don't go to Orlando, bro. That's the last place I want him to go. Very, very last place I want him to go. Because that team's gonna be disgusting if he goes to Orlando. Them niggas is giants over there, bro. They're gonna start running Paulo at the 1. Like, you send Victor over there, you're gonna have to run Paulo at the 1 at this point. You already got Bobo, Jonathan Isaac, bro. They have like 6'10" and plus people.
Franz. That is about as good of a young big three as you could possibly imagine. Does Wendell fit into that? I mean, he's played with Bol for a good chunk of minutes this season. He did that similarly with Mo Bamba a year ago.
Mo Bamba.
So they dipped their toes in that
you
water
forget
already.
about all the
I feel
big
like
guys
Franz
they
can
have.
just exist as a wing, whatever he technically is between a guard or a forward. I don't think it matters. And whatever position Paulo plays, he's still going to get a bunch of trips to the free throw line. Just for some actual basketball stuff, I randomly think about Wemby screening for Paulo, whether it's at like the top of the key or even like within the 3-point line on some like free throw line type of stuff. And just with how physical Paulo is and the fact that Wemby's just, I mean, the dude's just going to be able to make shots over anybody. Like, I know it's a cliche, but I do not know how you guard that. Now let's go to the Raptors. So I think of all the teams I'm mentioning here, besides the Pelicans, I think if the Raptors got Wemby, that might be the largest instant jump from a team. Now, we don't know what they're going to do at the deadline. There's some rumors about Van Fleet and Gary Trent right now, and even possibly something with OG Anunoby, and apparently one team offered like 3 first-round picks. But I just think if you slotted a great center onto that thing around Siakam and Scotty Barnes and potentially Anunoby, we'll see.
I really don't
think
see
that
him as a
instantly
center.
boosts them to
really
somewhere in the East.
Which is crazy to say. I don't see a 7'5" nigga as a center, but like, bro, come on, that nigga is like frail, fragile. He's not fragile, but like he is. Tween.
Think about just Nick Nurse and all the things he draws up defensively. I mean, the Raptors' defense has slipped a little this season, but with Wemby in the middle of that whole thing, that just seems terrifying, man. I mean, they already have Fred screen for Siakam, so they'll have anybody screen for that dude. I imagine you would see some Siakam, Wemby 2-man action stuff. And then at this point, I mean, it's a pretty safe bet that I've already mentioned the team that's going to end up with the guy. So I guess the last thing to at least think about for half a second here is, will we see any team try to...
Once you meet with a TurboTax expert who will do your taxes for you, you're free to do not taxes.
Pivot and just bottom out towards the end here. I mean, given the play-in tournament and given owners' desire to get some playoff revenue or some play-in revenue or whatever, I don't know. I mean, you look at the Blazers, right? 3-7 in their last 10, 12th seed.
The Blazers really should pivot, bro. This is the perfect time because they're the 13th seed, right? And as far as I'm concerned, right, it doesn't really matter what your record is. It just means the bottom 3 teams in the league. So if they just trade Dame, it won't take them very long to hit rock bottom. I promise you it won't. Trade Dame, you get hella picks from wherever you're going. You'll get good players. Like, bro, trade Dame. Even if Dame wants to stay, I say, hey, to hell with that, bro. You gotta go.
I just can't imagine that front office would do anything to give themselves better odds at Wemby. On top of the fact that Dame is probably just going to go scorched earth at some point here and just drag them to like a 6-game winning streak or something.
Exactly.
So I don't know. There's always the possibility of Utah doing that. I mean, they're 50 games into the season now, so they would have 32 games to just really bottom out. And I mean, like if Danny Ainge wants to, I imagine he's got offers for a lot of dudes on that team. Of course, he's not trading Markkanen or Kessler. But besides that, I would say basically anything's a possibility. And yeah, the odds are not very strong for this one, but a Wemby Markkanen front court, given where Markkanen is at now as a player, I mean, that's just a really talented front court that can dribble and shoot, and they already run creative off-ball actions for Markkanen where they start from the corner and all that, and they do something similar with Wemby.
No one wants to see him go to Utah, man. Anyway, y'all. Anyway, Schmitty gang, that was it. Really, that was just a focus for me and to post some Victor Wemby views. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I got more videos coming y'all way. Schmitty gang, out of here, man. Yes, sir.